Why Toyotas built in Japan seem to have a higher quality than other Toyotas built elsewhere. It kind of makes me wonder why, and I think it's because of a few reasons. And something else I'll get out of the way is, do you think that? I think they are, but possibly you don't. But in my opinion, if a Toyota is built in Japan, it comes out at a much higher quality than elsewhere, like even America or Mexico or Canada or anywhere it's built. By far, the quality seems to be a lot better when it's built in Japan out of almost any manufacturer, but especially Toyota. I've owned multiple Toyotas. One was built in America. Two of them were built in Japan. The one built in America, as soon as I got it, I went back to the dealership for a warranty claim to see if I can get the gaps covered, but unfortunately they said it was still good under manufacturer's measurements. But the gaps seemed misaligned in the trunk area, and they just were not aligned right, and there were bigger in places and smaller in others. And I had a Toyota built in Japan. The Toyota built in Japan was perfectly aligned, all panels, all everything. And I'm not saying reliability-wise, I'm not sure. I still think Japan's better, but for sure fit and finish. That's a fact, and I think most of us are 100% on the same page. But then also I've had issues with the car that was a Toyota built in America. I didn't have any issues with the Japan one. So, kind of interesting. Even a deal had to get welded, and we're talking about a brand new Toyota here. It was a Toyota Camry. A piece had to be welded, and it was made in America. The other Toyota was built in Japan, and here recently I just got a new Toyota 4Runner built in Japan, and I can already tell the fit and finish, it's amazing. It is night and day compared to the Camry. Some people even say they can visually walk around a vehicle without seeing the VIN or any information about the vehicle, and they can tell if it was built in Japan, if it was a Toyota. That's pretty amazing. And honestly, I don't know if I can necessarily say that, but it's almost there, because just walk around, for example, the new Tacoma. It seems like everyone I walk around has a misaligned body panel here and this and that, and all sorts of stuff. Then go walk around. Show me a 4Runner with the misaligned body panel. It won't exist. It's just a fact. They obsessed with quality. They obsess with it. From my understanding, in that factory, they are obsessed with quality. All the way from the employees. Some people have had families of generations that work at that factory. Where the 4Runner is built, it is by far one of the best factories in the world. And that is no other than the Tahara factory. It is the best factory in the world that is putting out the highest quality vehicles by far. It's actually amazing. And now that I have a 4Runner and I walked around it and I saw it and I actually spent some time driving it and I actually spent some time in it and looking around it, wow. I can 100% agree. Any Toyota built in Japan is 100% going to have higher quality than if it's built anywhere else. And I would argue there's other factories in Japan, but I would argue that the Tahara plant, if it's built there, it's better. And I think all they build out of Toyota is the 4Runner. So other than that, I think it's just Lexus products. So there's just something they're doing that's different there. And it's for sure, factories, whenever you go to Korea, the cars do not seem to be built as good. And I don't know if it has to do necessarily with wages. I don't know if it has to do with culture. I'm not sure if it's just, do they just obsess with quality? Is it that simple? There's something to it. It's just a fact, because here in America, they can pay us all the money we want. But a lot of these factories are still having to use staffing agencies to staff them. At the end of the day, it's still not a job that a lot of people want to do. A lot of times, there might not be any AC. It's hot, it's cramped, climbing in those cars, doing this and that. It's not an easy job working at these factories in a lot of cases. It's a difficult job. They don't pay that well. I think Toyota's factory starts at around 16 or 17, I guess, people can live off that, but it ain't gonna, you're not gonna make a lot of money. But I think this vehicle, it's their vehicle from Japan. It's something to be proud of. So I think there's just more to it. That's why I think they're proud of it. It's their heritage. It's their vehicle. It's their brand. It's their country. And they just take it to a next level. And I'd love to hear your opinion. Do you think Toyotas built in Japan are higher quality than built at other places like the USA or like especially Mexico? The Mexico factories are, I don't know. I mean, I've seen older generations Tacomas that seem perfect though, and they were built in Mexico, but the new Tacoma, I don't know what it is about it. It's just like, come on, you can't align a tailgate? But all right, guys, leave a comment, like the video, subscribe if you liked what you heard. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.